dream about what you would like to create and let yourself explore this path. What's happening is you're actually getting in contact with your own higher spiritual self. And what's actually opening is your third eye is opening. So in your questioning of what should I do, you're actually connecting to your third eye and connecting to your spiritual purpose. Hello, my friend and earthly neighbor, and welcome to the first week of what I call Awesome August. Well, last week we moved into the season of I Love Me Leo, and it may have been a little turbulent because we were exploring the depths and dark spots of our heart. But Sensei says this week you're going to get to the core and you're going to commit to it. From my smartphone to yours, keep streaming for your weekly Namaste Today. Welcome to Namaste Today, a spectacular way to kickstart the day. I'm your heartfelt host and the sensei to serious joy, Christopher Witecki. Thank you for joining me, my friend. Namaste. Well, last week we delved into the season of I Love Me Leo, and this year it's a fantastic season. We have the North Node in Leo. We have 2 new moons in Leo. We have a total solar eclipse on the 21st, and we have a lunar eclipse on the 8th. If that's not an investment to our hearts from the universe, I don't know what is. So when we describe what's coming up this week, I'm going to talk about how this week is the final week of putting your emotional core together and preparation for the lunar eclipse, which will happen on August 8th. And then later in our tea time, I'm going to dive deep into that lunar eclipse and talk about what you can expect to detach from. But first, let's take a look at the week's moods and your zodiac weather. This zodiac weather is from Monday, July 31st to Friday, August 4th, 2017. Looking at your 5-day moodcast. Well, looking at the week at a glance, it begins as a small fire, but slowly builds into passionate intensity. Let's drill down. On Monday, it's sunny and sharp as you're ready to turn your back on what doesn't work. On Tuesday, it's sunny and excitable as you begin to skip down the yellow brick road. On Wednesday, it's sunny and dreaming. You are manifesting your core foundation. On Thursday, it's sunny and healing as you come into full integrity and Uranus goes retrograde. And on Friday, it's sunny and learning as you're not in Kansas anymore. Well, looking at the future week ahead, we are building a core to our heart, which is the beginning path of our road to serious joy. And our next segment this week, I'm going to walk you through the week and talk about Uranus retrograde. Taking a sneak peek at the upcoming week, I coined this week committing to the core. And when I say committing to the core, I'm referring to the core of our heart. This week, you're going to make a commitment to what your core self-love discipline is. And from that core self-love discipline, you're going to set off on what I call the yellow brick road. And this yellow brick road does end in an Oz this year. We have a solar eclipse on August 21st, which is just going to knock these serious joy wishes out of the ballpark. It's a huge investment. This is the first time the universe has invested this much into human beings' hearts since 1998. All right, so think back to 98. I've been talking about it a lot. For most people, when they call back to that time, they say it was a good time. Now, it did start off a little tough in 98. I remember it because with the North Node in Leo, which is what I'm basing this on, the universe is saying our heart must come first. All right? And that's a big deal. So, in the last week that we just lived, the universe was trying to show you places where your heart wasn't coming first. Either you were ignoring your heart, other people were ignoring your heart because you were ignoring your heart wasn't satisfied in career, your heart wasn't satisfied here or there. And so last week was a bit of a bummer, sort of turbulent, because we had to get honest with where we were loving things and where we were not loving things. As we begin this week, you'll make a commitment to leaving behind those things you don't love and marching toward your serious joy. So let's dive into the week, day by day, and give you a play of what you can expect and how you're going to commit to this core, starting with Monday. On Monday, it's going to be sunny and sharp. Monday is a Capricorn ruled day. You're going to be ready to make commitments and decisions, ready to turn your back on the old heartfelt pains, and ready to march forward with your serious joy. This is really the day where you commit to an internal core. Okay? This core is going to be your heartfelt integrity. You won't be there right away. You'll just be committing to it in the beginning. The moon will be in Scorpio on that day, and so your emotions will be willing to draw some hard lines. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if some love affairs or partnerships or creative partnerships break up between Monday and Wednesday. If you've had a relationship that's been right on the edge, okay, your heart might say, that's it, I've had enough, I can't take any more on Monday. So it won't be a surprise to you, but it will be, finally you have the courage to stand up for yourself. And because of the moon in Scorpio, you can draw the line. The other good thing about Monday is the moon, Venus moves into Cancer. Venus has been in Gemini up until now, which means we've been only opening up to new ideas. Doesn't feel very good. Okay, a lot of times ideas don't make us feel better. But now Venus moves into Cancer, so during the course of this week, as you commit to that core, Venus, you open up to feeling better and better and better. Okay, and we'll talk about when the turning point is. So Monday's about real commitment. Monday's about holding space for the possibility of new. Monday's about turning your back on the old. All right. Tuesday, sunny and super excitable. Step 9 rules the day, which means our ego is ready to march. The sun is still conjuncting Mars, so we have the strength to move forward, even though we may feel tired, even though we may feel deflated. We have the strength. That's one thing I've noticed. I was super tired last week, but I got through. Thank God for Mars constantly giving me caffeine injections, right? So on Tuesday, the moon moves into Sagittarius, and we begin to explore what our real story is, the story we were born to live. If you don't know, the story you were born to live is the story you wish it was. All right? The truth of the matter is that the universe, what our heart wishes is what we intend to manifest. We just don't always know how. So we begin to start to skip along the yellow brick road on Tuesday, and I think we are very excitable, and we're probably impatient because it's a Mars-ruled day. On Wednesday, it's sunny and dreamin'. Step 10 rules the day. We're going to hold space and be manifesting. Basically, you committed to the core on Monday. You took action and moved towards that core on Tuesday. On Wednesday, you're sitting and you're holding space, waiting for that core to gel. This core, by the way, is what your heart will tolerate and not tolerate, period. And this core is the essence of your serious joy. If you don't have this core intact, there's no way you're going to go supernova with the joy. So on Wednesday, we are committing to this dream, and the moon is in Sagittarius, so we're definitely dreaming and moving forward. The moon also crosses Saturn, so we have kind of an emotional reflection where we realize we've grown a lot, and we've emotionally matured a lot, and we've come a long way. And we kind of have a whistle and a pep in our step, I think, because it looks like things might work out. Okay, so Wednesday, I think, is going to be a good day. Thursday, sunny and healing. Step 11 rules the day. We come into full integrity. So, I always preach the 11 steps of serious joy. It's not till step 11 that you're in integrity with any transit. So, in Leo, step 11, this is really the first day we're coming into our integrity. We're starting to really feel good. We're starting to really feel hopeful, okay? And if you've gone through a lot of damaging, heartfelt situations in the first 11 days, you'll actually start to feel much better by Thursday. So for people who are kind of overwhelmed with depression and despair, which I've read a lot about in comments and with clients, is because they had a lot of goop to get out of their hearts, I predict by Thursday you'll be feeling a lot better. Now here's the irony. On Thursday, Uranus goes retrograde in Aries. Uranus has been pushing us to just get stronger. And because it's in Aries, the only way to get stronger is to add more weight. So the universe has been adding weight to our story, making us get stronger, making us bust out of our shells, making us break down the old ego patterns. And finally, as soon as we come into integrity with our serious joy in our heart, God gives us a break, pulls back Uranus. How about that for the timing? I mean, people often say, why is God so slow? Why is he... I don't see it slow. As soon as we were at step 11, Uranus laid off. You know what I mean? Like it was immediate. So this Uranus point is very important because this core, this new self-love core that you just created in the first 11 days, this is the core of your character that Uranus in Aries, this new character that we've been building for years since Uranus has been in Aries, finally, at step 28, which is where Uranus is, we have the prototype of the new man or woman, whichever one you happen to be, right? So it's a powerful day on Wednesday, and we're really starting to feel like we're coming together. On Friday, it's sunny and learning. We basically moved to step 12, so from this strong core, from feeling hopeful, from having the pressure of Uranus off our back, we start to open a door. We start to go down a new path. We start to explore a new avenue of our heart. And we have more courage than we did because we've committed to that core. On this day also, Jupiter squares Pluto. So at this point, as we turn the corner, we have to face fears that we're going where we've never gone before. Pluto in Capricorn is tearing up the old rule structure, the way we thought, the decisions we made, the structures we had created. And Jupiter in Libra is pushing for us to really reset what's fair, put ourselves into more harmony and balance. So this is where I think Jupiter takes over Pluto, where our desire for harmony and balance now outweighs the rules. And so there might be some fear on Friday as you realize you're about to go where you've never gone before. This is undiscovered rainbow territory, okay? And you're going to be breaking some rules. In other words, things you said you would never do, decisions you had made in the past, you're now reversing, that sort of thing. And that's what I think that square is going to bring up on Friday. Now, this whole week of committing to the core and skipping down the yellow brick road, Saturday, there's some sort of breakthrough, step 13 rules a day, so you'll have a breakthrough on Saturday. And on Sunday, you'll be a bit spacey as you kind of get your mind around what it is your breakthrough is. But I have a good clue of what the breakthrough will be about. Go steep yourself some tea, and let's have our weekly tea time. Hello, my friend, and welcome to our tea time. Today's tea time topic is breaking free. Now, this title comes from the fact that we have a partial lunar eclipse on Monday, August 7th, 2017. And although it's partial, it's still very powerful. If you're not aware, a lunar eclipse is when the Earth's shadow falls onto the moon. What it means in our spiritual life is that our emotions, our darker emotions, that's the shadow of Earth, fall onto our emotions, and as a result, because we are feeling something that we no longer feel, it really is the death of an old way of feeling, and every death is a rebirth. It's the rebirth of a new feeling. Now, this lunar eclipse will be in Aquarius, and Aquarius is the attachment-detachment sign. Aquarius is where we belong or don't belong. So what I'm predicting is, emotionally, everyone on the earth is going to realize that they no longer emotionally belong being attached to something in their life, something in society, something in the world. And at the same time, they will decide that their heart now is attached to a new direction. You may not be specifically aware of what you're attached to. You just know you're no longer attached to this. And this is often how manifestation works. People go, I thought there's no negativity in manifestation. On the contrary, birth and death are the same line. Anytime you create, you're turning your back on something else. That's the way our focus of conscious attention works. So, the lunar eclipse will be this powerful emotional detachment, probably to something you've been attached to since 1998 to 2000. No kidding. So it's very deep. And it might be a surprise for some people who kind of skip through life not paying attention to their heart, which is a lot of people, so don't feel bad if it's a surprise, okay? But it is going to be what sets you free. That's why I call this breaking free. Because you will find that that attachment that your heart was holding on to was in fact holding you back from your personal joy, holding you back from your personal dreams, your serious joy, and the story you were born to live. It's very powerful. But there's more going on that day than just that. The step number is step 15, so this is purebred. Step 15 adds to a 6 or nets to a 6. That is a purebred, something the heart wants, something the heart loves. So it's going to be totally severing away a heartfelt cord. We'll be literally cutting cords from this eclipse. And during this cord cutting ceremony, we have a temporary yod going on. And the yod is pointing to the sun. okay, which is extremely powerful. And that is, of course, the epicenter of what we are creating. So as we detach from something, God is literally going and attach to this. So this is a detach and attach simultaneous event. It's almost like you were holding on to this side of the pool. Now you're going to hold on to this side of the pool, okay? It does mean we're going to see a whole bunch of stuff shifting, okay, after this event. We have a Mercury retrograde that follows not too long after. In fact, when does Mercury go retrograde? Mercury goes retrograde on Sunday the 13th. So the Sunday after this event, Monday's the event, the Sunday after Mercury goes retrograde, which basically is the Earth going, I got to rethink all of this. All right? So the yod, the points of the yod goes to the sun, but the base of the yod is at Neptune at step 13, which means part of this attachment, reattachment, is that you're on a whole new spiritual level now. That's why you have to do it, because you're going to be on this new spiritual level. That's what's really putting a lot of the energy into this yod. And the other leg of the yod is Pluto Retrograde at step 17. Step 17 adds to an 8 in Capricorn. That's a Grandmaster step of Capricorn, which means we are putting a Grandmaster foot in the ground. We're changing the rules. We're rewriting the Constitution. Enough is enough. We're going to hold space. So it's a very powerful eclipse, in my opinion. Mars will be at step 11, which means our ego will be insisting on personal integrity. And Venus will be step 8, Cancer, which means on that same day we're saying enough is enough with certain ways of feeling. So it really is a whole new day. And for some, it may be a bit of surprise as to what happens. So just so you know, the event will be on Monday, August 7th, 2:20 p.m. Eastern Time, 11:20 a.m. Pacific Time, okay, right around at that point. At that point, something may happen. Be careful during that time. Of course, it won't be observable in the United States because that's daytime for us. So in Europe and Asia, they will have an observable partial lunar eclipse. So, excuse me. I'm remembering to take drinks. These are long segments. So I thought I would go into, for all 12 signs, a little diagnosis of how I see this lunar eclipse playing out for your sign and what you will attach from and detach from at the same time. Beginning with, of course, the Aries. Now I'm going to talk about what you're detaching from first. The Aries will be detaching, letting go of an old social role they once held. It might be a circle of friends. It might be a certain role. It might be a certain level in a company, or, you know, blue collar, green collar, white collar. You might be letting go of some social role. And the reason why you are detaching from a social role that you were once committed to is because you'll be attaching to some sort of heartfelt creative intention. And it'll probably be creative. So a lot of Aries will be giving up something to be creative, giving up stuff to maybe get pregnant, have babies for female Aries, okay, or even male Aries too. I mean, but it will be for specifically their serious joy. So Aries, they're always the purebreds of the zodiac. They're going straight for what's going on. Let go of this in the world. Hold on this in my heart. The Taurus. Taurus will be detaching from an old career role that they once expected to be. So probably in 1998-2000, Tauruses were attached to some sort of career role, some sort of dream, and they're going to detach from that career role because they're going to attach to a new way of feeling joyful. You're going to find that certain aspects of your career kept you from being joyful, and so what you're attaching to is feeling good, having a wonderful home, having a wonderful castle that you can build a new career from or continue your career, but you'll probably let go of something. So Tauruses might be sending out pink slips if they're employers. Gemini, you will be detaching to something you once believed, and that's a huge thing for Geminis because, you know, they're all in their heads, always thinking all the time. So you'll probably let go of something you once believed. It might be something you were raised to believe. So for young Geminis, it's the first time you are heading out, you know, out of the pasture of your parents' thinking. Or it may be that you are older, more experienced Gemini, and you have since come to realize that's not true anymore. And the reason why you're detaching from that belief is because you're going to be attached to some creative idea that you get. So some idea is going to get your brain going, and that's going to be like, screw that, I'm not a Catholic anymore, or whatever, you know, and you're going to say, my heart believes in this. So for Geminis, it's a real shift of mind. Big, big thing. Cancers. you're going to detach from a boundary. So Cancers used to hold on tight with those claws onto some sort of boundary, like I'm never getting divorced, I'm not getting married twice. And I say these little relationship examples because I'd be willing to bet the boundaries have to do with a relationship somewhere. Just saying, I know you Cancers, okay? So you're probably going to let go of a boundary that you once held on to, that you once swore by, all right? And that's so you can attach to a creative value inside of you. So you're creating a new value, and you might be creating a new revenue stream. You might have to let go of an old comfort zone to be able to make more money. So you might have said, I'm never going to work on a cruise, and then someone's like, how about $1 million? And you're like, okay, never say never. You know what I mean? Like, suddenly you're working on a cruise. So Cancers might have some sort of a promotion in this. Leos, who are heavily affected by this. Leos, you're going to actually detach from a way you have operated in relationships, okay? So you've been operating in relationships the same way since 1998 to 2000, and you're going to let go of the way you operate there. Underneath that operation is a mirage, like how you allow yourself to be treated, how you treat yourself in the background. And Leos tend to be cold with themselves. They're super warm to the world, but they're cold bastards to themselves. I know I have a Leo rising, so I can talk here. So you're going to let go of an old way of relating. Many Leos will probably break up with people who are in unhappy relationships. So if you're with a Leo and it's shady, lunar eclipse might be the final straw there. But don't worry, I just have to stress, the universe has everyone's personal, serious joy here as the backbone intention. So Leos will let go of some sort of way of relating and attach to a new identity, a new heartfelt determination to go off and explore things that bring joy to their heart, which is what Leos are here to do, lead by example of personal joy. So Leos will make probably some of the biggest changes, and whatever you step or attach to, it'll be some new creative drive. A lot of Leos will decide to go ahead and be creative now, where in the past they might have stuck to like logic jobs and manual labor. No. Leo would never do manual labor. Okay, manual labor as in flipping switches. But now they're going to probably be more creative. Virgo. Virgos will be detaching to a lifestyle they once held on to. And that's huge because Virgos rule lifestyle. So when a Virgo decides to change their spots, oh my God, buy a lotto ticket. It's a huge deal, okay? You're going to let go of a lifestyle. You might let go of a vocation. You might let go of a job, a way of working, a way of living. Maybe you were held on to living in the Bahamas. Now you want to move over to Florida. You're going to let go of a lifestyle. And that's because you're going to hold on to a new dream. And this new dream is a creative inspiration that will come to you from spirit. Okay, so I think you're going to be inspired by something that allows you to let go of an old way of living, and then it could include health problems for certain Virgos. If you had health issues, this might be the first step towards that healing for good. Libras. Libras are stepping away from something they thought their heart once wanted. So Libras are making huge changes. Libras who are in relationships with Jupiter in their sign, definitely could be a time where Libras break up. Okay, they're masters of breaking up, by the way, because they're masters of relationships. They're great in relationships. That's why they feel so strong to leave one when they want to. But they're going to literally have a change of heart. And when Libras change heart, it's like, bonk, the scale just flips all of a sudden. You're like, what? So people might be on a shock path for some Libras, but they're going to have a total change of heart. And the reason why is because they're going to be going for some sort of new creative social role. So Libras will be wanting to be someone else in the world, wanting to showcase their light in a different way, and that's why they'll have a change of heart about something in their life. Scorpios. Scorpios are going to detach from an old way of feeling emotionally secure. And that usually was from domination and control. Okay, like usually they dominate and control a situation, right? And that's why they feel secure. So Scorpios will be letting go of an old, way of nurturing themselves, like an old attachment to maybe a family member. Scorpios might be leaving home at this point. A lot of Scorpios venturing out. And the reason why you're letting go of an old emotional nest egg is so that you can aim for your heart's intentions in your career. So many Scorpios are now going for their creative career dreams right now, but it means they have to let go of an old emotional comfort zone or an old safety blanket. So they'll be swapping out safety blankets. Sagittarius. The Saggies are going to be letting go of an old idea and an old attitude they once held. And Saggies seem very open-minded, but honestly they're not. They have very rigid thinking, and the rigid thinking says be open to everyone. But behind it, it's very rigid, it's very fixed, it's very unique. They very rarely let go of certain ideas. So Saggies will let go of certain ideas, And that actually frees them to pursue a new religion. A new religion is your own philosophy, your own story, the story you were born to live. It'll be a new creative belief. So some Sagittarius will go research new things. Some Sagittarius will change their fate. Some Sagittarius will be starting a whole new story, kind of like a celebrity makeover. Capricorns. Capricorns, this is huge. You got to admit, for all signs, this is huge. Capricorns are detaching from an old attachment to money. So some way of making money, some sort of business, maybe some sort of value system like, oh, you only value business and never family. Letting go of a whole value system. That's what this eclipse does. And that allows them to be free to go into a new heartfelt comfort zone with themselves, a new sense of loving trust. So literally their attachments to some sorts of money or finances is keeping them from becoming the butterflies they're meant to become with Pluto and Capricorn. So this is the turning point where they move into a comfort zone, and when a goat is comfortable and happy, a goat can stand on that mountain forever. And then we have the Aquariuses. The Aquariuses are going to be detaching, because this is huge for them, from an old ego or an old identity. All right, so they're going to let go of an old ego, let go of an old identity, let go of an old way of putting themselves out there. Aquariuses do this every now and then. It's like they hate to be labeled, but they very rarely change whatever label they have. And like this will be a time when they're like, oh, I'm not a this, I'm a this, okay? And this letting go of this old label, letting go of this old identity is so that they can attach actually to new creative partnerships. So they're going to kind of change their spots because they're going to enter into powerful partnerships that help their Age of Aquarius dreams come true. The secret is, Aquarius, you can't do it alone. I know you can be alone, but you can't pull it off alone. You need other human beings, and the universe is bringing that team to you when you let go of this old identity. Pisces. This is huge for Pisces. Pisces will let go to an old system of faith. Okay, so they used to have faith for these reasons, and they used to have faith for those reasons, and they used to have faith because of this. And a lot of Pisces have a lot of Christianity and a lot of Christian stuff to work out too. So they're going to let go of all that past life faith stuff so that they can attach to a new, happy, healthy life. So Pisces are letting go of certain old faith. You could say letting go of a lack of faith, a fear-based faith, okay? And holding on to a new happy lifestyle. So again, powerfully transformative. And Pisces, be careful. This is a vortex. Some Pisces might leave the planet in this vortex because of the way it's set up. So again, this is going to be a very powerful eclipse. And I give this to you early for a couple of reasons. One, I really want you to meditate in this next week on what you're going to detach from and what you're going to attach to and where you might see evidence of that. The other is because I'm here to announce that I'm going on a vacation. Woo, woo! This is my second vacation of the summer. I'm taking it from August 7th to August 12th. So on the actual day of eclipse, I will be with my son in Texas, hanging out and thinking about how good life is. Probably in some sort of a wave pool, probably in an inner tube, probably getting some sun, hanging out with my Gemini sun. So I will be off for a week. I'll be exploring my heart and doing my own soul work. Of course, I have to say, anyone who is a member of my personal Sensei service will get continued service throughout the week. We are working on 40 days of our self-love, and each day we are building and building and building. So if you're a subscriber, you will hear your pep talk. You will have full service. I'm going to go work hard to have that in place in advance. For others, please forgive me, but there will be no Friday Live that week, and there will be no audio blogcast that week or weekly show. I'm completely going dark and giving myself a vacation. I recommend you give yourself a vacation. And if you want to know something incredible, this is the first vacation I've actually had officially since my honeymoon, okay? And I was 24 on my honeymoon. I'm now 44. So I waited 20 years to take a freaking vacation. Remember we're Taurus? Detaching from career in order to attach to a new joyful life? Here you go. This bull is leading the pack. So I hope you folks have a fabulous week. I'm so grateful to be of soul service. Be sure to stay in your heart. Be sure to be clear on what's important to your heart and what's not. And for those who are interested in my personal Sensei service, great time to join. Don't lose the momentum with me being off the air. Come visit SeriousJoy.com for more. All right, friend. Remember when you're out there, opening up your heart, that I love you, and to live, love, be.
So